So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another live stream. And today we're going to be messing around in the F-14. We are going to be messing around in the F-14. All right. Hello there, hello. As you all can see, we are in the F-14. The F-14. There you go. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. And we are in Namibia, I believe, near the Namib Desert, if I'm not entirely mistaken. But we are by the coast of Namibia. And what we're doing today is we're going to have a look at a shipwreck that sits about half a kilometer into the desert. So we're going to take a look at that shipwreck. We're going to mess about and fly over the desert. We take in some of this scenery. It's quite an unnerving kind of otherworldly terrain that we're going to be taking a look at today. So we're already in the F-14. I've already have it started up and lined up for takeoff. It's essentially, we're at a dirt strip, as you can see. And you can also see the water in the distance. We're just going to be taking off straight towards the sea. We've got full tank of fuel, including the center tanks, the drop tanks, as you can see here. Okay. So, yeah, that is what we have here today. Without further delay, let's get off the ground and mess around and have some fun, yeah? So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. That looks lovely, doesn't it? That looks lovely indeed. Okay, let's get on out of here. There we go. Let's apply that throttle right there and release. Parking brake. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Ooh. We have takeoff. Flaps up. Gear up. Look at that. Look at the kind of terrain we're surrounded by. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Let's climb out so we have a better look at the terrain. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see what the real weather there is, eh? Let's switch this up to all live. Okay. It's completely live. Brilliant. Look at the weather on that. Let's turn ourselves to the other direction, shall we? Unfortunately, I don't think I have head tracking working. For this particular live stream, I completely forgot about turning on the head tracking. But anyway. Ooh. Near blackout right there. Brilliant. Look at this terrain. That is crazy. That is crazy. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Now let's head on towards this particular wreck. It's just a tiny little dot, but we can have a look at it. That's an interesting thing that we can have a look at today. And then we shall just soak in this lovely terrain, go for a relaxing flight. I want to get used to the F-14 and the other jets that I have, so that I can perform more jet flights. And yes, I need to remind myself to turn on the head tracking. Look at that terrain. Goodness. That is good stuff. That is beautiful. Okay. Let's climb here quite steeply. The wreck is right ahead of us. Alright, it's literally somewhere right here. That's where it is. We're not far away from there at all. Man, this is nice. Let's turn off the afterburner, shall we? There we go. Turn that off, conserve some fuel. Beautiful. This is some lovely stuff. That is some crazy looking terrain. Last place you would want to get stuck. You would not want to get stuck there. Whoop. Okay. Once I have head tracking, I wouldn't really need to go outside all the time to get a better view. Man, this is lovely. Damn, that is good. That is good. Here we have the sea. I believe this is the Atlantic Ocean that we're looking at. Effectively. Okay. Let's have a look at that wreck. Where is it? It's somewhere right around here. Let's pull back on the throttle there, slow ourselves down a little bit. We can have... Where is it? Might have to go outside to locate it. Oh, I think I found it. There it is. I see it. The shipwreck. I forgot the name. The name Edward Bollin. That is it. The wreck of the ship Edward Bollin. Is it Edward? I don't know. The name is escaping me, but it's right here. Look at that. That is the shipwreck right there. Okay. Give ourselves a bit of throttle here. There is that shipwreck right here. So let's continue to try and keep an eye on it. Right there. There it is. There it is. We're circling it as we speak. There. That is a lovely little detail that we are able to see in the flight sim. And this is the default sim, by the way. No enhancement have been applied. I seriously need to do that Google Maps thing I keep talking about, but apart from that, that is some lovely stuff right there. That is nice. That is nice, isn't it? Let's dip in for a closer look. Okay. There it is. That is a shipwreck. Nice. Woo. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. But anyway. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Okay. Now, let's have a bit of fun flying around in the terrain. We're going to hug the terrain really close and see how close we can get to the terrain. Explore the desert a little bit. Then we'll come back in for a landing and we'll call it a day. Just a quick little live stream. Bit of fun here. Look at this terrain. Man, this is crazy. Okay. Let's get our speed up here, shall we? As we fly over this terrain. There's nothing that's worth noting for miles around. That is crazy. If you get stranded here, you're done. Look at that sun. Look at that sun. It looks so good. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look good? Let's get in a little lower, shall we? Closer look, Mach 1. Ooh, we're a little too fast. We're at Mach 2. Look at that. Let me see, can I hug the terrain a little closer? I'm trying not to overstress the aircraft, but let's see, can I hug the terrain a little closer? Maybe we can. Maybe we can. That is the desert for you. Woof. It looks so alien. Crazy looking stuff. Mandatory terrain loading issues with 2024 there. But apart from that, this looks lovely. Nice. Alright. Ooh, don't black out. Okay. Let's get straight up here. We're at Mach 2.7 something. We hit 2.8. So let's go straight up. Have a look at this entire area. Rather exaggerated bird's eye view of it. And we shall come into land at the nearest airstrip, wherever that might be. Okay, 21,000 feet. Look at this terrain. That is where the shipwreck was, right here. Right around here. And we took off from somewhere around here, if I'm not completely mistaken. My goodness, look at this. This is crazy. Crazy stuff. Altitude 39,000 feet. We can actually easily go near 80 with the F-14. In the MSFS, we can actually go 85,000 feet and maintain it. So what we're gonna do now, let's find ourselves a little airstrip to make a landing at. Shall we do that? Ooh. There are plenty of airstrips off to if we cross the desert that we are seeing right ahead of us. I mean, right underneath us. If we cross it, we will have a couple of places to land at. So should we do that? It's a good question, isn't it? Should we do that? Also need to find an airfield with enough distance. We could go to Walvis Bay. We could land at Walvis Bay. So why don't we do that instead? Okay, so let's turn around and land at Walvis Bay. Now, Walvis Bay is essentially right here. That's Walvis Bay. We can already see it. It's right there. So let's enjoy this beautiful scenery and land ourselves into Walvis Bay. Man, that is crazy looking good. Ooh, that is a good looking scenery right there. That is great. That is just amazing. Amazing. Yeah, that is something else. That is something else. Look at that. If that isn't a scene, I don't know what is. Look at that. That's crazy good. Okay, let's land into Walvis Bay. As a matter of fact, we can follow this particular feature. It seems to mark the desert, the end of the desert, into some other kind of terrain. Let's go and find ourselves in Walvis Bay, where there is an airfield with, I believe, a runway with 11,000 feet. That should be plenty. We can go and land there. Look at this. It looks like it's Mars. That's crazy. That is some otherworldly terrain. Beautiful stuff. I'm enjoying this. Look at that. Oof. My goodness. Oh, wow. That is crazy. That is something else. That is something else right there. We're going a little fast for our own good. Well, the belly view isn't great, so unfortunately. Oh, okay. Let's head on straight towards Walvis Bay, Mach 1.7 right now. Ooh, don't want to black out. Ooh, we're riding on the edge here. Still, we're all right. Gotta find that airstrip and we'll put it down. We shall put it down. We'll also have a replay of the landing attempt. Oh, gosh, look at that. Nothing but... Looks like we're on another planet. Maybe it's just that we're not used to seeing scenes like this in our everyday life, which I feel like is a shame, but that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Is that a river that we're seeing underneath us? I don't know. Seems like it is, though. But it doesn't seem to have any water in it, so that's something. That is something. Okay, here we are, heading directly for Walvis Bay. And I don't think we have the aerodrome in sight. Accelerating to Mach 2 quite rapidly. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll be able to find it. Okay. Oh, that is crazy good. I need to do more of these flights. This is fun. This is fun. This is a good looking aircraft. Just wish there was a more accurate rendition of it. This is the DC Designs F-14, which a lot of people think is not the best. Quite frankly, I understand that it's not particularly well done. I mean, I get it, but it is lacking a bit in terms of textures and system simulation and all that stuff, but still, it's pretty fun to fly. That's something. Ah, there it is. There is the airstrip we've been looking for, Walvis Bay. And there is the bay, there is a little bit of settlement. Look at that. Finally, some humanity. Some humanity. So let's land here, shall we? Let's find ourselves landing at this particular place. And to make this landing interesting, I have an idea. We're just gonna fly over it, and we're going to go straight up. Ooh. This is where we're landing, and we're gonna go straight up. So let us do that. Let's go straight up. Let's go straight up. As far high as we can go, and when we reach maximum altitude, we're just gonna put our throttles back down to idle. Look at that. There's some road, some network, some humanity, some civilization. Wonder if there's like a big town here. There must be, to have a large runway like this. There we go. Fuel quantity is low. We're still climbing here, so we can continue our climb. Look at that. Okay, wings are out. Okay. Throttle idle. And let us get ourselves to land at Walvis Bay. Where the hell is it? Where is it now? I don't have any visuals. Ooh. It's funny how quickly you lose visuals. Ah, there it is. Found it. There we go. Can we make this landing? Isn't this fascinating, this one? Look at that. Man, that's crazy. Okay, we gotta make this landing. So let's see if I can actually make it. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I'm actually gonna slow down on purpose here. We're gonna drop our gear and our flaps out in advance. So let me just pitch up a little bit more. There we go. Come on, come on. Come on. 260, 250, 240, and gear down. Flaps down. There we go. Now let's see if we can make this landing. Make it a bit more difficult, right? There we go. Coming into land at Walvis Bay. Look at that. That's gonna be rough. Okay, I need a bit more of a twisty approach here. Should I use throttle? Should we try and land this dead stick landing, or should we try and give it a bit of throttle? Oh, I don't want the speed to rise too much and give us an overspeed here. Okay, so we're going to turn around. We're gonna have to turn around once at least. So let's start a gentle swooping turn to get ourselves lined up. Should we try this dead stick, or should we try this with a little bit of engine power? Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a bit of engine power, and then we'll see. But towards the end, not now. Okay. Let's make this landing. 160, you can drop the nose a little bit. Allow it to descend down. Don't want to lose too much altitude. I'll try my best to make this dead stick, but I feel like I might have to give it a little bit of power. I don't think I'll be able to do this dead stick. I'm trying to... Let's see. If we can do this dead stick, then that would be great, but I might not be able to. Okay, so Walvis Bay is right there. And I feel like we're a little too low now, so let me just head directly towards it. To have any hope of making this, I'm gonna head directly towards it, because we're at 20,000 feet, which is too low for this distance from the threshold, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Let's see. Attempting somewhat of a dead stick. Stand by on throttle just in case we need it. Very nice. Okay, here we go. Coming in for landing. 180 knots is what I want. 170 knots is what I want, something like that. Just press that thing. Okay. There we go. Lovely. Lovely stuff. There we go. Coming in for landing. Essentially dead stick. 200 knots is a good speed. Okay. We're looking good actually. We are bleeding speed slightly though. So we might have to give it a little bit of throttle. We're looking okay. Looking okay, ladies and gentlemen. Looking okay. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Look at that. Look at that. I need to fly more fighters. I really do. Alrighty. 180 knots, 8,000 feet. Like 2 nautical miles away. Maybe. That's not good. Let's see. Let us see. Is it possible to make a dead stick landing? Sky dolly on for landing replay. Let's see. Perhaps if I put my flap up. Okay, I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be just fine. Plus we have 11,000 feet available to us. So I think we're going to be okay. Speed is... Okay, yeah, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Okay. 185. Okay, let's see. Remember dead stick, huh? So that is, this landing is probably gonna be hard. But let's see. Hopefully it won't be. Hopefully it won't be. 183 knots. Oh goodness. 170. 176. 175. 161. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. Okay, we are down. There we go. We made it dead stick. That is pretty cool. We made that landing dead stick. Excellent. Hard landing, but at least that's my first time actually successfully making a dead stick landing, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So we are at Walvis Bay. All right, Walvis Bay. Let's turn ourselves off here. Put our flaps up and we'll turn ourselves off the runway right about here. Oh, we're going a little too fast. We're not going to stop. Okay, so we're going to use the next exit. No issues. No issues. Okay. We'll have a look at the landing replay momentarily. As soon as we turn in, we'll have a look at the landing replay. Okay, let's try slow down to make this exit. We need about 20 knots to be able to make it successfully. And yes, okay. There we go. Okay. Gotta stay on the brakes here to be able to make these turns, and let us go ahead and have a look at the landing replay, shall we? Okay. Okay, so we'll stop right here and let's have a look at the landing replay using Sky Dolly. So let's see, what view shall we have a look at first? Let's have a look at it like this. Okay, here comes landing replay. Let's see how hard of a landing it was, considering it was a dead stick. Let's see. There we go. Let's play that. Landing replay number 1. Let's have another look, shall we? That was pretty rough, but let's have another look from this view. Not the worst. Not the worst dead stick landing in the world. Not the worst at all. Okay, let's check that out from the gear. Well, let's check it out from this view, shall we? And then we'll check out the gear. That'll be enough for landing replays for the day. Alright. Last view here for the landing replay. Look at that angle. Look at that angle where we're approaching it from. Not too shabby for a dead stick landing, I gotta say. I'm not too disappointed by that. Alright. Alrighty. Let's now get ourselves into a parking or something like that and shut down the aircraft. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Let's release that parking brake and get ourselves into a parking. Okay. Let's get ourselves into a parking here at Walvis Bay, which is not too shabby looking. It's not even a handcraft or aircraft or airport or anything, I believe. But I don't think it's the most terrible looking airfield. Let's see, where can we park? You know what? We're just gonna turn right here. We'll turn right here to our left and park ourselves in one of these parkings, eh? Do that, just like that. There we go. Gotta be at like 15 knots to make a turning correctly in this one. Where shall we go? We shall go straight ahead and put ourselves into parking, shall we? There we go. That looks about right. That looks about right. That looks right. There we go. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and shut the engines down. Before that, let's attach the GPU here. Shut the engines down. Actually, we can leave these on, really. My bad, but the engines have been shut down. And what can we do here? Can bring that. Can put our wings swept back. Brilliant. We can open up the canopy and extend the ladder. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, we can pretty much leave it like that if we wanted to. We can just turn off the lights here if we really like to. At least the anti-collision lights can come off. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Walvis Bay. So that was just a quick little flight. We didn't even start this up from cold and dark today. Just a quick little flight. I will be starting it up from cold and dark from the next time I fly this. But for today, we had a quick little look at the wreckage of, I believe it's Edward Bolen, the ship. And we had a look at the terrain around this area in Namibia, if I'm not entirely mistaken. And we have brought ourselves into Walvis Bay, which let's have a look around. Actually, you can have a look around this particular airstrip, which doesn't seem too bad. Look at that. It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad, although the ground it's pretty angular, but apart from that, doesn't look too bad. There we are. I hope you guys enjoyed that little escapade. Just a quick warm-up for the stunt flights that are coming up with the jet. It's about time that I started doing these. Long overdue. So there we go. A quick little escapade in the F-14 for the day. Alright. So that's pretty much it for this particular live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just a quick, short and sweet one. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.